Morning, y'all. It is I, Stephanie Nelson Davis, aka Moogie. Please call me Moogie. It's a Star Trek thing. It's how the Ferengis, they call them. Their mom's Moogie. Okay, so yesterday I had said I wanted to talk to, and remind ladies that yes, there are actually good men out there. But I also have to acknowledge, and I have to, I didn't start out with a good man. I have kissed plenty of fucking toads. And not even frogs, fucking toads. Luckily, I didn't get any warts. So I'm not saying, and that conditioning that they try to give girls, be subservient, you find your man, your prince, and he'll take care of you, and yada, 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 yada. Well, I knew that at a very young age that shit wasn't true. A lot of ladies don't understand, how men really, really are. But I was not raised in a church environment. I was not raised, I'm not going to say I didn't have good men in my life, because there absolutely were and still are. My uncles, on, my dad's side of the family, my uncles are all awesome. A bunch of my cousins. My mom's brother, my Uncle Bud, was just fucking awesome. Good men. Good men. And so, although, for me, my dad died when my mom was pregnant with me, so I never did get to meet him. And she then married a complete and total jerk-off troll who did not want her 2 young daughters from her first marriage. He wanted our Social Security checks, but he didn't want us. And I just found out this past year that my mom actually tried to give us away when she first married him. Not the money, mind you, just us. And man, that's a fucking dagger, isn't it? That's just a dagger. And so, yeah. When I was young, of course, I had self-esteem issues. When I was a kid, I looked like a little dude. I played hockey on the boys' teams. And they would get my brother girlfriends drunk and have her cut our hair. The reason why I have such a glorious mane now is because they used to make us cut our hair off. And as an adult, on myself, I don't want short hair. I can't stand it. Makes me feel naked. Makes me feel bald. It's a whole thing. But but that's some of the fucked up shit that abuse can do to you. And yeah, I've had my fair share of fucking assholes. And the worst of which, the first one, I busted him cheating on me, and that was his excuse. I leave, and then he lets his fucking cunt go through my stuff and take stuff, and and then the rebound off of that was even worse. When I busted him fucking our best friend's wife, he actually hit me for it. He hit me. But I picked up a metal lamp and I fucking belted him in the head as hard as I could. And when he went down, I kicked him in the nuts a few times. Called my then my sister Sandy's then boyfriend Chris and a couple of his Neanderthal friends to come out and get me and give that little weasel a little wall-to-wall counseling. So, and after that, I finally started finding the strength to find a man that was going to treat me right. And true, I married a douche. He was pretty. He was easy to control. But he, as soon as I had babies, military, he'd be temporary duty, TDY. And he'd go off and fuck the little short fat chicks. Every chance he got. Now, I didn't leave him. I knew it. Didn't leave him. Because at that time, I didn't have... I mean, what I'm going to do, go back to Minnesota? Live on what I could get out of him? No. But did I sleep with him? No. No. And when we went to Japan, I was in my 30s, and I really got my independence there. And, no, I wasn't having sex with him, but, yeah, I fucked his commanding officer, you know, and, yeah, I sold some wild fucking oats and had a good time and nailed the drummer of Hootie and the Blowfish. Because I wanted to. Because it's a notch for me. And ladies, and don't be afraid of your sexuality. Okay? Those were my choices. I don't regret them. I had a blast. And I figured out how much strength I actually have. And how much power I actually have. Now, mind you, I was in my 30s. I'm in my 50s now. I met my Donnie in Germany. Japan. And Donnie is that one in a million. And more likely than not, military men are pretty good. I mean, they do get trained pretty good. Now, I'm not saying all of them, mind you. I definitely am not saying all of them. But a lot of them, they are good men. And Donnie, who was a cop and the commanding officer of the police on the base, and he's shorter than me. I'm 5'9", he's about 5'7". At our wedding, I wore 4.5-inch heels. He looked like I was standing on a step. My poor baby. And, you know, he let me plan the whole thing. We went to the Star Trek experience for dinner afterwards. Fucking boss. For me. You know, but I am not saying that as women, I mean, yeah, we go through a lot of fucking toads looking for the frogs that might be a prince. But, and I went through my fair share. I did. But I did, once I found my power and determined that I deserve respect. My needs need to be met. And what I think is valid, what I want is valid, and what I want out of life is valid. And it was my decision when he retired, when we moved here to Texas, to stay home with my kids. Because that's what I wanted to do. I was a bartender. You know, while we were in the military, it's an easy job to take place to place. I loved being a bartender. I was a good one. I don't drink. But bartending is a lot like chemistry, and it's a lot of fun. And I did have a blast. And I love people, which is why I talk to you guys now. But my kids were, my kids were still younger. And I'm I am a nurturer by nature, always have been, and my children are everything. Making them happy, stable, productive people is my, that's extremely important to me. And it's probably because I was abused and neglected myself. Now, I'm not saying, ladies, that you can't work and have a family. Of course you can. Of course you can. These were my personal choices. I worked for a long time, and I worked hard hours. I worked long hours, worked hard hours, and, but I also made sure that I spent time with my kids. My kids are everything to me. And that's the other thing that Donnie understands, is that those kids come before him every single fucking time, and he knows it, and he accepts it, and he's the same way. Okay, that's a big one. That's a very big one. And he's a better father to my children than I had before I met him, than the douchebag I was married to ever was. And, but the cool part is every last one of my kids looks just like me. So, they're all cute. They're all cute. I got lucky, got a good mix of both my parents. And, I'm cute. I've been told I'm beautiful, but I don't think that true beauty is this. I think true beauty is what's in here. And that's, if you just love me for what I look like, that's not enough. What I look like is the least of the information you need to know about me. And one of the most misleading things about me. Because, long, bright red hair, tattoos, always wear my pendant, Shay's t-shirt. Let's see, this one says, I will put you in the trunk and help look for you. Don't test me. I am not, and I am, I get put in that stereotypical kind of, people will try to put me in that, in whatever stereotype that they immediately think when they see me. But if they actually talk to me, then it's like, whoa, wait. So, and yeah, I can dress up, I can clean up, of course I know how to do that. But, I don't work. I stay at home with my kid, and do whatever I'm doing, and I don't have to. I choose not to wear makeup. Shit melts off in this part of the world anyways. I like my tattoos. I like my snarky t-shirts. And I love my goddess. But, a lot of the stuff I've been seeing about all these little fucking incels and everything is that there are absolutely no good men. That is, ladies, I know there's a lot of bad ones. Please don't get me wrong, I acknowledge that. There are tons and tons of bad ones. But there are some good ones. And there are some that are worth your time to teach. They are teachable. But you gotta make sure that they're open-minded enough and secure enough in their own self that they are willing to be a partner rather than her husband. And yeah, we'll introduce you all to my Donnie. Now he works from home, and so it's Monday morning, and it's one of his busiest times, and he's in the study clacking away. And he works for Baker Hughes. It's a huge international company, and he's a security executive. He's in charge of physical security worldwide. It's a big job. They don't pay him enough, not even close. But so he's a good man. He provides very well for us. But even we had to pay out Dad's bills for the last 8 months of his life, because he ran out of money. Home health care is fucking expensive, and so we're trying to come back from that. Now I'm not complaining. We had made a promise to Dad and Mom that they would not leave their house, and we kept that promise. Now the reason why my Donnie is a good man is that his dad was a good man and taught him how to be a good man. And Donnie's first wife was a fucking bitch, and she abused him just as surely as any woman has been abused. She cut him off from his family, didn't let him have friends, and he'd work 18-hour days to get away from her. It's not just women that get stuck in these kind of things. And yeah, I straight up stole him from his wife. But she didn't love him, and she certainly didn't love him enough to let him be him. And he's a fucking awesome guy. And values my thoughts, my opinions, values what I'm trying to do here. He does screen when I upload. He screens and tells me what he thinks, and overwhelmingly, the little tweaks that he gives me, he doesn't overstep. And I'm not saying that he can't be idiotic sometimes. He is a dude, and he can be. But I am quick to explain to him, well, first I lose my temper, and then when I step back and calm down, then I can explain to him what it was that pissed me off so bad. And he's man enough to go back and say, oh my God, I see it now, I'm sorry. And, and we've been together for almost 20 years, going on 20 years. And, so it doesn't, we seldom foul the relationship nowadays. And, he knows, he knows what will and will not piss off his crazy ass wife. But the main point, though, is when I chose to be with Donnie, I didn't need him to complete me. I could have stayed in Japan. I could have, decided to stay single and stay in Japan and work and have my kids and be a DOJ employee and have my own benefits, and it'd be just as I was a military member. I chose to be with Donnie because I love him. And our life has not been easy. We've faced a lot. a lot. And the fact that it just made us stronger is a great thing. And have we had problems? Fuck yeah. Everybody has problems. We fight? Fuck yeah. Everybody fights. But the point is that he does not, in any way, shape, or form, try to lord it over me or dismiss me. He holds me up. He does make me a better person. He does add to my life in a significantly positive way. He is, and he loves me unconditionally. And, you know, when we got married, I was a skinny fit, 135 pounds, 3% body fat. I'm 180 pounds now, kind of chunky. But he still tells me I'm beautiful every single day. And I know he believes that. And, you know, and that's nice to hear. But he also tells me how intelligent and insightful and impactful that I am every day. And that's even more important to me than telling me I'm beautiful. Because this isn't anything I can help. This is what I look like. This is what, this is what I was created. This is what I look like. That, well, yeah, you could change it, but, I'm fine. I look a lot like my mom. I look like both sides of the family, but more like the Snow side of the family. But, this is all an accident of fate. But what's in my head and what's in my heart, those are cultivated. And those are the things that he truly appreciates about me. And that's what you need, is somebody that you're not just a trophy. So, and again, don't get me wrong, I know, Goddess, I know. And if you need help, there are a lot of resources. Now, if you do need help, you can reach out to me. I can direct you towards some of those resources. And there's nothing you could tell me that would shock me. Honest to God. I grew up with a bunch of drug addicts and dealers and everything else under the sun. There's really not a whole lot that shocks me. And I've seen my stepsister go through one man after other who would beat the fuck out of her and then rape her. And stay with these fuckers. And I've seen my mom subserviate herself her entire life, my entire life, to this troll that she's still with, and I still am not welcome on the property because of him. But she tells me I'm the most like her. Holy crap. But there are good men out there. Truly there are. Unfortunately, though, and you gotta look. But the first thing you gotta do is love you. Decide how you want to be treated. Decide how you want your life to be. You don't need a man to complete you. A partner, a companionship, but you do not need anybody. You need to come to the point where you don't need anybody else to complete you. When you are secure in yourself is when you will find somebody that is secure enough to love you without restricting you. And I know that's not easy, and they're really hard to find. But on either sexes, men or women. So, you know, I acknowledge that struggle, and I acknowledge how fucking lucky I am. But, you know, I am here to say that not all men are douchebags. You know, not all men are completely horrible. There are some good ones. But, again, there are way more bad ones. Ladies, again, protect yourselves, okay? And yeah, so I just wanted, just seeing all the reactions and all the pessimism, and ladies, just on the other side of being hurt about what he did to you is the realization that you never needed that fucker in the first place. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. After the hurt, after, what did he really do for you? What did he really do to bolster you? And that there's life after dickheads. There's life after these little fucking pussies. There is. And you have to come first. You have to come first. Okay? So, anyways, that's my rant for this morning. We got some movers coming later, moving some of the big stuff out of Dad's house. It's gonna be kind of a nightmare because my house is a disaster, but it always is. So, you know, just, yeah, y'all, ladies, complete yourself first. Complete yourself, put yourself first. Okay, put yourself first. Then everything else will come. But you gotta put yourself first. And I know it's hard, and I know, but you can. Man, you got a brain, you got a heart. You can learn. Alright. I believe in you. I see you, and you are fucking powerful. You're a goddess. I love you. This is Moogie saying have a lovely day.